Hello, good people, wherever you're located on the earth. I hope you're having a great day. My title for the day, or my theme for the day, is about a sporting event. Here in America, it's called the NHL, the National Hockey League. As I just now stated, I'm here in American, basically you can call it the Western world. That's what they like to call it. I noticed something incredible about hockey just now. And all the media people, they know what's going on in hockey, but no one ever talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I just noticed about hockey. That's what we call it, hockey. It loves fighting. It gets its energy from fighting. The fans love to death to see that fight scene. They love it. They love it. They love it. They love it. But this the wonderful thought that came to me, people. I'm not going to say no groups. I'm not going to say no names, none of that. I'm just going to let your imagination run away with it. Now, here in America, here in the Western world, if another group of people, I ain't going to say their name. I ain't going to say who they are. If another group of people constantly, regularly had fights the way the NHL have it, they would be calling hoodlums and thugs. And I already can give a scenario when this did happen. Like in the early days of the NBA, especially in the 70s and 60s, certain players like to get into fights. Even today, they may get into fights. But when they get into the fights in the NBA with those certain group of people who I will not mention, people love to call them hoodlums, thugs, deviants. But in the NHL, they lifted and praised as if they was heroes or kings or heavenly entities when they fight. But in the other sports, the other major sports, when there's certain class of people decide that, hey, you and I, we look alike, so we're going to go toe-to-toe, blow for blow, throw for throw, hit for hit, jaw for jaw. The media say, we can't have this in our sport. We cannot have this undesirable behavior there. The fans say, stop the thuggery. It look like a street brawl. It look like they fighting over tennis shoes. They fighting over a coat. It looks like a thuggery celebration. That's what the so-called fans will dare to say about that particular group. As I stated, hockey, the NHL, that seems to be their bread and butter. If the NHL didn't have at least one fight every 3 games, would the fans still love it? Now, I like looking at hockey, but I heard and I read and I watched it. The only negative about hockey is it involves that puck. Even when you have a large screen TV, even when you have a 70-inch, 80-inch TV, it's hard to see that little puck get hit. Because that little puck it may get hit with tremendous speed. It may be going over 150 miles an hour when it gets smashed. And it's hard to see something the size of, I say, 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters in diameter. It's hard to see that little puck on TV. I know they made little innovations in the past to try to make it visible, but it didn't work. So that's why hockey is not loved like the other sports here in the United States. But as I was saying, hockey, the fans, they love it. The media never even talk about the fights. Now, I'm glad they don't show it, but they never even, and I'm talking about not the YouTube media, not the Vimeo media. I'm talking about the professional media, like ESPN, Fox Sports, and the list goes on and on. They never make a big deal about that that hockey fight. But when that certain group of people in the other sports, and they don't even have to be the NBA, it can be the others like baseball, football, etc. I'm talking about team sports, not individual sports, because it looks embarrassing to fight if you're in an individual sport. If you're in golf, who couldn't you fight against? Tennis. It's hard to fight the person when they're on the other side of the tennis court. Bowling. It's hard to fight the other person when they sitting down and you bowling the ball. You can't fight the people there. In those team sports, hockey, NHL, they love it. If the other group, who I will not mention, decide that they're going to do that on a regular basis, everyone be coming down on them. Everyone be ready to throw them under the bus and say suspend them the whole season. And hockey, I wonder, do they get even suspended for 2 or 3 games? Do they? Tell me that in the comments section. Thank you for stopping by on my insights into how it seemed to be a double standard in the sporting world when it comes to fighting. One league love it, and yes, in my video, I've shown one person who's not a majority member fighting, but the majority like to fight, so any other person from another group, they're going to join in with the fighting. But in the other sports, if you notice, they predominantly by a certain group of individuals. If those individuals decide to get up and fight, all hell break loose. All hell break loose. And we've seen that. I ain't going to name them. We've seen that in other sports. When a certain group decide to fight, the hammer come down on them hard. It smashed them to bits. Okay, so tell me what you're thinking in the comments section. Until the next time, dear listener. Peace.